Hello one and hello all and welcome to another crafting adventure. And today we are going to be making this bead bear. Haven't done a bead kit for a while and I think this is the perfect one to go with. Now this is a set I haven't done before. It is a part of a 4 different model set and well, this one seems okay. It's 2 of 3-star difficulty, so fingers crossed it won't fail. Now, as always with these, the first thing you've got to do, open it up, take the beads out and separate them into separate little drawers. That really helps a bit later on. Now you can see there are quite a lot of beads here. Not all of these are from this set, these are from other sets as well. But the ones we're going to be using today are these dark brown beads here, these matte pink beads here. We're going to be using some simple cream beads, some small black beads, and 2 big clear beads. And the first thing we're going to need to do, take the string here and measure out an 80cm length. Put 3 small brown beads onto the 80 centimeters of string that you just cut. Then take one of the ends of the string and re-thread it through the bead on the opposite side, essentially creating a small triangle. Pull it tight on both sides and it should give you this shape here. Hold the shape and then go along the strings until they are both the same length, and this should be in the center. Then colour one end of the string red and the other end blue. Okay, so once you're happy that this shape is in the center of the string and one end is blue and one end is red, we can continue. From here I've got the blue end on the top and the red end on the bottom, and all we're going to do, we're going to put 2 more brown beads onto the blue end and thread the red end through the second bead added onto the blue one. That should create this shape here, which doesn't really look like much yet, but I'm sure it will build up into something more. Now the strings cross through this bead here with the blue coming down and the red going up. From here we're going to add 2 more brown beads onto the red string and put the blue through the second bead added on the red in a similar fashion. From this point we should have the blue coming up and the red going down. All we're going to do is add 2 more onto the blue end and cross the red through the second one added, just like we did earlier, which should essentially give you this sort of shape here. You can see it's almost made a full circle. So to finish the circle we should have the blue coming down and the red going up. Take the blue string through the very first bead we added at the very first stage. Then add 1 brown bead onto the red and cross the blue through that, and that should give us a nice uniform circular shape. Like this, which kind of looks like a small person with 2 legs, 2 arms and a very small head. And I've oriented it now so the blue is coming down and the red is going up. And what we're going to do to start the next row, we're going to add 1 of the black beads onto the blue and 1 of the brown beads. Then we're going to add 1 brown bead onto the red and cross the blue through the brown bead added on the red one. Now we should have the blue coming up and the red coming down. We're going to add 2 more brown beads onto the red and cross the blue through the second one. This is where it starts to get a little bit tricky. So you should have the red end coming down towards the center and the blue end coming out, well, towards nothing. And what you're going to do, you're going to take the red string here through the next bead along here, the little stickman's head. Then we're going to add 2 more brown beads on the blue and bring the red up through the second one added on the blue. At this point the blue should be coming towards the center and the red is coming outwards. All you need to do is add 2 more brown beads on the red, cross the blue through the second one. Then take the red through this bead here, add 2 to the blue and cross the red through the second one. And just repeat those 2 stages 1, 2, 3 times until the red string comes through this bead here. Once the last bead here has the red string going through it and they both cross through the bead there, what we're going to do, we're going to add 1 of the matte pink beads to the blue end. Then we're going to take the blue end up through this black bead here. Then we're going to cross it through a brown bead added onto the red end, and that should finish the second ring of this part of the bear. Once you have the strings crossing through the final bead, double check to make sure the shape is sort of uniform. Obviously the black bead and the matte pink bead may make this area look a bit odd, but make sure the rest of it is a uniform shape. If it isn't, go back and double check all of the beads are in the right place. But to start the third layer, we should have the red coming up and the blue coming down. We're going to add 3 brown beads to the blue. Then we're going to cross the red through the third one. That should create this nice little square crossed diamond shape like this, with the blue coming towards the center and the red coming away. From here, all we need to do is repeat a pattern 8 more times. Now the string coming away from the center has 2 brown beads added to it. The string coming towards the center goes through the next bead along and then crosses through the second bead added on the outer one. And all you need to do is that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 times, just leaving 1 empty. At this point you should start to see this part take this sort of dome shape. If it has, it's going well. Now here is that last bead that I said to leave empty, and at this point to check you're still on the right track, you want to have the blue coming towards it and the red end coming away. And what we're going to do, we're going to take the blue end through that bead, up through this bead here, add 1 more brown onto the red and cross the blue through that one, and then the third layer is done. Once you've got the strings crossed through this bead here like so, you should have the red coming up and the blue coming down. And then all we're going to do, add 3 more brown beads onto the blue end and cross the red through the third one. Next we're going to take the blue coming inwards through this bead here, add 1 matte pink bead and 1 black bead onto the red, and then cross the blue through the black one. Once the strings are crossing through the second black bead here, we're going to take the red string coming inwards through this bead, add 2 brown beads on the blue and cross them through the second one. Now with the blue coming towards the center, we're going to take it through the next bead along here, only add 1 bead to the red and cross them through that one. From here we need to repeat this pattern 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more times. Just to be careful though, each time the blue is on the outside we add 2 brown beads, take the red through this one and cross them through the second one, and each time the red is on the outside we take the blue through the outer one, only add 1 brown bead to the red and cross them through that one. Okay, so once we get to this point where there's only 1 bead left on the outer ring, we should have the blue coming inwards and the red coming outwards. What we're going to do, we're going to pop this large circular clear bead inside the head. Then we're going to take the blue end through this bead and up through this one, and we're going to take the red end down through this one. It's a bit hard to see from here, but this is the bead they're crossing in. We've got the red coming this way and the blue coming this way. What we're going to do, we're going to take the blue through this bead here. Then we're going to take the red through this bead, and this bead. So the red should be this way and the blue should be that way. At this point, with the face looking at you like this, we should have the blue coming up and the red coming down. All you need to do is add 2 brown beads onto the red and cross the blue through the second one. Now with the red coming this way and the blue coming that way, take the red through this bead here, ignore the cheek, take it through this bead here, add 1 brown bead to the blue and cross them through that one. Next, take the blue through this bead here, add 1 to the red and cross them through that one. Take the red through this one, add 1 more brown to the blue and cross them through that one. Now to finish this stage, take the blue coming up at this angle through this one and through this one in a sort of circle and tie it together with the red by here. And all you need to do to finish the head then is to rethread the excess through 1 or 2 of the beads randomly and cut it short. And it's done. But next, we need to make the nose. Now, the first thing we're going to do to make the nose is to find this bead here. And what we're going to do, we're going to thread 30 centimeters of string through this bead with the blue on the left and the red on the right, like this. Then we're going to add 2 brown beads onto the blue side, bring it around through this bead here. That should give this shape here with these 2 beads sticking out a bit. Next, we're going to add 2 more brown beads onto the blue and cross the red through the second bead added. That should have created this sort of square shape on the face like this, with the red coming up and the blue coming down. So what we're going to do, we're going to take the red across and down through this bead here. So it should go up and down. Then with the red coming across the front like this, we're going to add 1 brown bead to it, bring it around and down through this bead. So add 1 brown, bring it around and down through this one. From this position with the red string coming down, we're going to take it around and up through this bead here. And with the red string coming up, we're going to add 1 more brown bead onto that string, bring it around and up through this bead here. So add 1, around and up through this one. From here, with the red string coming up here, we're going to add 1 black bead onto there, and then we're going to take it through this bead, and this bead, so it goes around in a circle and comes back down here. That should give you this sort of shape like this, with the red coming down here. So we're going to take it back through this black bead from right to left, through this bead here, and then through this bead on the bottom here, and tie it together with the blue in this position. Once it's tied together, all you need to do, as before, rethread the excess through a couple of the other beads and cut it short to finish. And next we can make work on the ears. And for them, we will need 2 pieces of 20 centimeter string. The first thing we need to do for the ear is find the eye here. We're going to go up 1 bead, curve to the left, and then from this bead we're going to curve to the left 1 more to this bead here. Again, we jump over to the bead opposite the eye, go to the left and go to the left again, and we're going to thread our 20 centimeters string through this bead here with the red on the left and the blue on the right. Then we're going to add 3 brown beads onto the red end and 1 matte pink bead and cross the blue through the matte pink bead. From this position, add 2 brown beads onto the blue end. With the 2 beads added on the brown end here, you want to take the string around and pull it down through this bead here. So it comes around and down through this bead, which is just to the right of the first bead we threaded the string through. At the same time, you want to take the red end the opposite direction. So the blue comes down through this bead and the red goes up through it. From this position, take the red through 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 brown beads, and it should meet the blue by here, where you can tie them together, rethread the excess and cut them short. With the first ear done, you can start on the second one, and it's just exactly the same, just a mirrored version. And to find the first bead, as before, go up 1, go to the right, and you want to thread the 20 centimeters of string through here with the red on the right and the blue on the left. Add 3 brown beads and 1 matte pink bead onto the red end and cross the blue through the matte pink one, like this. Then take the red down through this bead here, which should be just on the left of the first bead we threaded through, and add 2 brown beads onto the blue end. Once you have the 2 brown beads on the blue, bring it back down through this bead here, so it should cross with the red here. Then finally, take the red through 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 beads and tie it with the blue by here. And once you've tied the strings together and rethreaded it, cut them short and it is done. Now you can see there are a little bit of excess here, which I can cut off with smaller scissors later. The scissors I have to hand are quite large. And then the head is done, really. This is not one of the easier ones to do. It does require a lot of these very small beads, And because the initial string is quite long as well, it can be a bit fiddly, so take your time if you try to make one yourself. And well, anyone who does try to make it, good luck. Part 2, where we'll make the body, the arms and the legs, will be up soon, so please wait for that. And good luck to everyone who gives it a go. Thank you for watching, and please like and subscribe if you enjoyed it, and see you next time.